Welcome to day 2 of Carl Jung's guided meditation series. Today we undertake what Jung called the decisive step, the actual descent into the unconscious. Jung wrote in the Red Book, "I cease to belong to myself alone, cease to have the right to do so. From then on, my life belonged to the generality. It cost me a great deal to undergo this, and I had to pay dearly for this distinction. What we're about to do is based on Jung's own descent in 1913 and the method he refined with hundreds of patients. He discovered that the unconscious has a geography, actual landscapes that remain consistent once discovered. In memories, dreams, reflections, he described it. I knew this was the entrance to the unconscious." Today's practice comes with Jung's own warning. The meeting with oneself is at first the meeting with one's own shadow. The shadow is a tight passage, a narrow door. But remember, you have your temenos, your protected space, to return to at any time. Close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. With each exhale, feel yourself withdrawing from the external world, just as we practiced yesterday. Find yourself again at the edge of the forest. The path is familiar now. Walk with confidence along the spiral path, noticing how much easier it is to find your way. Jung noted, the second time, the soul knows the way. Soon you arrive at your clearing, your temenos. Enter your sacred structure and sit in your established place. Feel the safety here, the containment. Touch your heart and reaffirm, this is my protected space. From here, I can safely explore. Now something new. Look around your sacred space and notice there is another doorway you didn't see yesterday. This doorway leads deeper downward. This is what Jung called the doorway to the collective layer. It may appear as stairs descending, a cave entrance, or even a well. Trust what your psyche shows you. Approach this downward passage. Jung wrote, "The way to the unconscious is not straight but goes by way of many detours. One must go down before one can go up." Before descending, Jung always advised creating what he called the conscious standpoint. Place your hand on your heart and state clearly, I descend as a conscious being to meet what dwells below. I retain my awareness I can return at any time. Now begin your descent. If there are stairs, count them. Jung found counting helped maintain ego consciousness. If it's a slope or cave, notice the texture of the walls, the quality of air. These details, Jung said, keep one foot in consciousness while the other steps into the unconscious. As you descend, the light changes. It's not complete darkness. Jung described a dim lunar light or phosphorescence. This is the light of the unconscious itself. You might feel resistance, even fear. Jung said, this is normal, even necessary. The ego always fears its dissolution. Breathe through any discomfort, remembering you can return to your temenos instantly if needed. Eventually, the descent levels out. You find yourself in what Jung called the underground landscape. This is unique to each person, but often contains universal elements. Look around. What do you see? Jung's patients reported underground lakes representing the collective unconscious, caves with ancient paintings representing inherited wisdom, forests of strange trees representing growth in darkness, or vast underground halls representing the spaciousness of the psyche. Jung himself wrote, I came to a dark lake. The water looked black and dangerous. I knew I had reached the central point. Begin walking through your underground landscape. Move slowly, observantly. Jung emphasized, one must not rush in the unconscious. Time moves differently here. Notice the atmosphere. Is it heavy? Light? Ancient? Alive? Jung said the unconscious has its own mood, its own presence. Simply witness without judgment. As you explore, you become aware of a presence. This is what Jung called the first autonomous figure, a content of the unconscious appearing independently. It might appear as a figure in the distance, an animal, a light, or even just a felt sense of other. Don't force an image, let it emerge. Jung waited sometimes for long periods until the unconscious was ready to speak. If a figure appears, observe it from a distance first. Notice. How does it move? What feeling does it evoke? Does it seem aware of you? Jung's crucial instruction. Do not project onto the figure. Do not assume you know what it is. Let it reveal itself. When you feel ready, take one step toward the figure. See how it responds. Does it move away? Come closer. Remain still. This response, Jung said, tells you about your current relationship with this aspect of your unconscious. If it feels safe, you may approach closer. If the figure seems willing, you can ask the question Jung always recommended. Who are you? Listen for a response. It might come as words, images, feelings, or knowing. Don't force dialogue. Sometimes the first meeting is just mutual recognition. As Jung noted, the figures of the unconscious are like wild animals. Trust must be built slowly. Whether you received communication or not, this first encounter is significant. Begin to withdraw, but do so respectfully. Jung advised, take leave of the figure as you would a person. The unconscious responds to courtesy. Turn and begin making your way back through the underground landscape. Notice if anything has changed. Jung found that even brief encounters could shift the unconscious terrain. Find your point of descent and begin climbing back up. Count your steps if that helped before. Feel yourself rising, returning to your temenos, your sacred space. Emerge back into your protected structure. Sit in your seat and take a moment to ground yourself. Touch your talisman from yesterday. Feel the solidity of your sacred space. Before we return to ordinary consciousness, Jung insisted on what he called sealing the descent. Place both hands on your heart and say internally, I honor what I have seen. I carry its wisdom but leave its energy in its proper realm. I am whole and complete in myself. This is crucial. Jung learned through difficult experience that unconscious energies must not leak into daily life without proper integration. Now, in your temenos, take a moment to create what Jung called the written record. In your imagination, see a journal or book. Open it and watch as the experience you just had inscribes itself on the pages. You don't need to write, just watch as the images and encounters record themselves. This symbolic act helps contain the experience. Rise from your seat and exit your sacred structure. The clearing feels peaceful, safe. The spiral path awaits your return journey. As you walk back through the forest, notice how you feel. Different than yesterday? Jung wrote, each descent changes us, even if we don't immediately understand how. Emerge from the forest edge. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Take 3 deep breaths, feeling yourself fully present in your body in this time and place. When you're ready, open your eyes. Immediately, and Jung was adamant about this, record your experience. Write or draw what you encountered, the figure you met, if any, the landscape, your feelings. Jung said, the unconscious speaks in images. We must capture them before the rational mind explains them away. Pay special attention to your dreams tonight. First encounters often trigger significant dreams. Tomorrow we'll return to meet what Jung considered the most important figure in the unconscious, your shadow. Remember, you've taken a courageous step. As Jung wrote, the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Today, you've moved closer to that truth.